Hello everybody. I know it's been a long time since my videos have been regular, but I would like to start getting a bit more regular again. I've been busy with university, and so most of my philosophical thought, philosophical writings, study, etc. is or has been strictly related to those things I'm studying at university. So I thought what I should do is perhaps share with you some of the stuff that I'm studying. So what I've been asked to look at recently is Berkeley. And to explain Berkeley's so-called immaterialism, I'm asked that can his position be defended today, and thirdly, what can we learn from his immaterialism? Now I surmise Berkeley's position as the following deductive argument. Firstly, physical experiences in the world can be reduced to a perception of sensory input. Therefore, physical experiences can be summed up as ideas. Now, ideas exist only in the mind, so all we can know of the existence of things are those ideas we have about those things. And lastly, the conclusion he comes up with is that existence itself is only in the mind. And if not a human mind, in the mind of God. This is Berkeley's position. Now, Berkeley asserts that since all existence is defined only in perception, perception is a necessary precursor to existence of any type. Now, he explains away former existence, that is to say, those things that exist that we haven't yet perceived, by simply attributing it to the perception of another mind, namely the mind of God. Now this, I see it as a cunning dodge of potential refutation by asserting that those things we regard as existing outside our perception are included in God's perception. However, viewing the objective world as a mere perception of God is problematic. God is a being he supposes to exist, though he cannot ratify God's existence through his own perception, because of course this would be to say that unless God itself was being perceived, it would not exist. This point of view would create some tricky problems by trying to define God's own existence by its own perception, i.e., could God have existed without first perceiving itself? That becomes a tricky issue. Now, another problem with Berkeley's argument is that it commits the fallacy of equivocation. Berkeley equivocates the perception of an object with the object itself that is being perceived. Now, if you're not familiar with the fallacy of equivocation, it is where a word is used and it has one meaning in one part of the argument and it has a different meaning in another part of the argument, yet the conclusion hinges on these two concepts being the same thing, i.e., to say a dog is running very fast because it has 4 legs. You could say, therefore, a river is running very fast because it has 4 legs. Of course, this is preposterous. A river is running very fast because, I don't know, there's a particular incline and there's a particular flow of water. But talking about running water and running dog, the word running here is common, but the meanings are separate. So therefore, making any argument based on a common definition of running involving both a dog and a river is going to be fallacious. This is the fallacy of equivocation, and this is what Berkeley does. Now, it is fine and well to say that the concept of an apple, i.e. sweetness, colour, texture, etc., is something that exists in the mind. But how can the perception exist without something to perceive? It would follow then that whether or not the object itself perceived truly exists as some material object, i.e. a thing in itself a la Immanuel Kant, outside the perception, the apple remains as something that can still be meaningfully referred to as an object. This is a fundamental flaw with Berkeley's argument. He says, I perceive a pair of scissors, therefore perception is in my mind only, therefore the scissors are only in my mind. Yet he's equating or equivocating the object that is being perceived with the perception of the object. This is Berkeley's biggest problem. So, the fact that two or more people can perceive any given object or person or concept in different ways suggests that there is certainly a level of creative thinking involved in perception, a method by which we compare the observable qualities of one object with qualities we've observed previously in other objects. These can be explained in a reasonable way, i.e. differing personal life experiences, differing levels of knowledge, and different quality of observation, i.e. somebody who is colourblind looking at a particular colour and somebody who is not. They're obviously going to have a different perception of what that colour is. A stonemason looking at a building is going to be able to make some qualitative observations about the nature of and the quality of that building, observations that aren't generally going to be available to the untrained eye. So, I mean, this is an unproblematic way to explain why people have different perception. I mean, it's not difficult to understand that they do. Now, to make no separation between the object itself and the perception of the object makes defining any concept of common existence entirely problematic. Now, immaterialism is a useful place to start. It attains a radical level of doubt about everything around us, akin to perhaps people like Descartes with his cogito, which is to say, I think therefore I am, I don't believe anything else. That sort of level of assurance needed to believe anything. Berkeley's somewhat similar in that respect. So this is a good thing, to be able to cast doubt on everything and then ratify it through reason. This is a good concept. But to treat immaterialism as an end in itself, it becomes really an insufficient philosophy of dealing with existence as a broader concept. So those are my thoughts, or some of my thoughts on Berkeley. I suppose I could always say more. I certainly could have said less. Tell me what you think. Do you like Berkeley? Do you prefer Locke? Do you dislike philosophy altogether? Do you like philosophy? Whatever. Tell me what you think, because videos like this, videos where I can just tell you crap I'm studying about, I could pump these out all fucking day. So, if you like this kind of stuff, let me know what you think, and I'll talk to you in the comments section. Thanks, guys.